Hey everyone, have I here bring a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, I'm going to be going over my version of a tier list for the collaboration of Super Dragon Ball Heroes and Dokkan, and also do a little bit of team building just to give you an idea of why I rank these units where I rank them. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So these units have been out for, in a sense, this holiday weekend here in the States. For me, I went on kind of an unexpected mini vacation and I'm back, and I figured I'd just make this video here just to give you a little bit of an idea what to chase after if you haven't been summoning on these banners yet, or you have been but you're gonna maybe want to summon more. Because here's the thing about Super Dragon Ball Hero Celebration: you won't be able to get these units until a year from now, right? So every November around this time, the Dragon Ball Heroes celebration starts, and that's when you're able to pick up some of these units. And some of these units here are going to be relevant seemingly for quite some time. So here's how I'm going to be ranking these units here, not like an S class or A class, etc, etc. I'm just going to say these are must-have units. You're going to want these units for the duration of Dokkan, right? They're going to be relevant for, I think, a very long time, and it's going to fit in certain teams outside of Super Dragon Ball Heroes. That is going to be very, very beneficial. The next level down is just great to have. It's going to be nice to have these units. Again, they're going to be kind of must-haves for, you know, crossover and Super Dragon Ball Heroes teams, but great to have overall because they're going to work on several or a few other teams if you want to run them as well. So good and helpful, that just means good and helpful. And then the bottom little sad emoji there is for units that I was hoping that would get either an EZA or some sort of stats that can be more relevant, and I just feel sad because I just expected more for those units. So here we go. Let's go ahead and start with the first 5 new units that we ended up getting in the celebration. And, you know, no surprise, right? The Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is on top. It's a must-have. That unit is a beast. It's going to be relevant because he has the opportunity to get his stat boost if you're running a Great 8 power team. So as long as you have, you know, running in the same rotation or full rotations of Great 8 power, you're going to be, I think, really just fine. But he is a standalone team leader that can just run an incredible team. And if you haven't run that yet, or if you haven't gotten Vegito yet, yeah, you're missing out, and it's a must-have. So great to have. A low level down, you know, I had to kind of make the separation. Is Rose amazing? Can Rose run a Super Dragon Ball Heroes team? Yes, but if you have Vegito, he's just going to be ranked higher. So he is great to have. He can even be said must-have on there, and it could be arguably said that is, but I think it is just a step down. I just want to make that separation there. For Fu, he is going to be very good, very helpful in certain situations. He is a support for extreme class units, so you do have to watch out. You're primarily going to be running for extreme class if you're going to be running Dark King Fu there. Now the final 2, come on. You know, the card arts on these, especially the SSR card arts on Black and Blue Vegeta and Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly are incredible. And you just basically give them nonsense, right, as stats. So I am so sad that the Black and Blue Vegeta is just really not usable. I am even sad, I don't say sadder, but as sad, that this amazing Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly opportunity here is just wasted. So not sure what they were thinking, but they both are tiers below the 3 that you see here, right? And Dark King Fu isn't like even close to like super godly, but they're even a step below down. Like, make them support, make them something, you know, that's going to be useful on especially in-game material. But anyway, yeah, Vegeta and Broly, they got shafted there for sure. So let's go ahead and move in to the next group of individuals, and that's going to be the 2 new units that got, or to say not old units that got new because they got awakened, and that is Golden Metal Cooler and then Janemba Black. I think they're good and helpful. They're not like super high class, great to have, must-have situation. I think in certain teams they're going to be very useful, but you know, they're not like super disappointing. I guess you could say like Janemba is a little bit disappointing because his limitations on teams they could have made him a lot stronger or provided something that you can run on other teams. But for him, you know, he's going to do well for those first few turns there, and then you're going to start building up his defense over a million, etc., etc. I think Golden Metal Cooler is going to be better than Janemba Black in a lot more situations and a lot more teams. So if I were to rank those three, those would kind of be in order, right around there. So let's go ahead and move on now to the EZAs that we ended up getting, and that's going to be another Vegito on top of the must-have. I think if you're going to run that team that Super Saiyan 4 Limit Breaker Vegito is going to be running, you gotta have to have the Super Saiyan 4 EZA Vegeta there, Vegito there, and it's a must-have for both. It's kind of interlocking to each other. The other three EZAs are incredibly good as well. I would say a lot of people would argue Dark Mask King would be a must-have kind of situation, but again, he's going to be more useful on a extreme class team, things of that nature, because generally, like I said, you kind of want to you want to have grade 8 power running in a full rotation for that Vegito to really be running solid there, right? So so great to have. Also, Demon Goddess Toa is great. She's a all types support unit, so great to have on her. Her end, she got a really nice EZA. And I think Broly, I put him down a good helpful. A lot of people might say he's great to have. He needs to be on a particular team. He needs to be on a great 8 power team, right? For him to, you know, get all his boosts up. And unfortunately, you know, he's not on the like a perfect rotation on Vegito. You can definitely use him, because if you use him instead of maybe a support unit, you'll still be in pretty good shape. So, but I do have him just that good and helpful. I think he's probably, like, if I were to like rank these like in this position here, probably the you know, the best out of all these three here. But we'll just leave him there for now. So now let's go ahead and move on to rankings for kind of like random. I'm sorry, the remaining. Let's take this back. These aren't all the EZAs, right? You're like, where's all the other EZAs, right? You have 1, 2, 3, 4 for the EZAs. Well, the rest, it's just sad. It's just sad. Now you might say, well, you know, Limit Breaker, Vegeta, you know, Black Mask saying there, you know, he's going to be the best linking partner for Dark Masking. Yeah, in certain situations, he's going to be fine. But if you would have added something in particular that could have been better, he could have been more good and helpful. I guess it's arguable that you can put Timebreaker Vegeta on the good and helpful slot in there, but I think it's just sad. Another Vegeta that they could have just done a little bit more with, you know, some sort of guarding mechanic, even a high chance to guard or something would have been fine. So, Deborah, yeah, whatever. Mira, yeah, whatever. And then for me, the biggest disappointment of the EZAs was the Demigra. Because he had so much potential to be at least good to helpful. I guess he can still be good to helpful in a sense, but for me, he's very sad. He could have been great to have, even must have, because of his opportunity to be supportive. And if you gave him something to, you know, have some damage mitigation, he would have been really good. So, so yeah, just down there below, just all sad, in my opinion. Some of you guys might think some of these guys are a little bit more useful. For me, that group of 6 down there, just, you know, again, just getting more teary-eyed there. So if I were to add some other units outside the current banners, these are going to be units that are going to be much more hard to get. You might, you know, be needing to use like coins, or if you're purchasing Dragon Stones or something. But I have a couple of the units that are going to be very beneficial, especially on the grade 8 power Limit Breaker Vegito team, right? I think a must-have unit here is that Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. Not only that he's going to be good on the Super Dragon Ball Heroes team, but he's on good on some other teams as well, that his damage mitigation can work out fine, because you only really need, I think it's what, 2 other grade 8 power units on a team, and his, you know, his guarding mechanic activates. So very strong there. So I think it's a must-have type of unit. You can also argue that Pan could be must-have, because she's an amazing support unit and is very beneficial for the team. But I think outside of Super Dragon Ball Heroes, it's not as valuable. But so I just put her at great to have. And then Limit Breaker Goku, he has his flaws, but he's definitely great to have here. And then the other 2 I wanted to add was Hearts. which I could probably even put like great to have, but he's only really using for extreme class units as a support, and then his ability for a high chance to guard is beneficial as well. But if his guard activates, he's really strong, but there is some limitation there. And of course, the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, I could probably just move him to great to have as well, but I think he's a very good and helpful unit as well. So I think when you're looking at this grouping here, I could easily switch it around and just said, okay, let's do it like this, right? And I think this is also a good list of ranking to have. If I would have just moved the other 3 down here, that is, I would say, you know, a lot stronger, and to kind of just move all these other ones up as well. So I kind of look at these here. You know what? I could have like Broly over here, but again, Broly just is more on this team. Yeah, I'm fine with leaving them where they're at, because I think against certain situations, maybe Fu goes down here. Yeah, maybe it's more like this. There we go. I think this might be, yeah, this might be the better list here. So so either one, right? If this one here, which is probably more inducive of, yes, those are the top 3 you want to have, and then the remaining there, or you can kind of group them up as something like this. The bottom 6 still stays the same, right? And they're just really awful. So the reason why I grouped them up this way, right, is because the best team that you can run are basically these 2 teams when you're running Super Dragon Ball Heroes, right? If you have Limit Breaker Vegito, you are going to be running that one as the primary leader because he's just so much stronger. I don't know why they gave Rose the same leader skill and the 200% boost. They could have added something more, especially because it's an extreme class unit. They could have added for the 30% boost, you know, crossover and something else, and it would have made that unit just so much more valuable. But alas, they just kept crossover as the same thing, limitation on there. So you can see those must-have units in Limit Breaker Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, and then Super Saiyan 4 Gohan. The reason why is when you get a friend with the Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, you're just going to be running that in the main rotation. So thus, you're getting most of the boost there. Now, if you're going to be running Grade 8 Power, you should be then, you know, hitting that additional boost, even with that floater there. But, you know, what you generally want to do is bring in, you know, more Grade 8 Power units on a team for Vegito. Now, you could just say, you know, I'm going to change it up a little bit, and I'm going to actually add like Rose, Dark Mass Saiyan maybe as a rotation. Then you have, you know, Darkness Toa or Demon Goddess Toa. She is incredible as a support unit. But then you have the ults that you can run is, you can then run Broly. Broly actually runs very good on this team as a floater, can build up, and is very good. And then you can even run you know, Metal Cooler on here, Janemba as well, and maybe even some other units. But when you look at these options here, this is the reason why I kind of ranked them, kind of how I ranked them here, and it kind of just makes sense, right? So the final team I'm going to cover is if you are going to be running a Rose team without Vegito. Again, if you have Vegito, you're going to be running a Vegito team. But maybe you have Vegito. Here's a situation that maybe I wasn't even thinking too much about. You have Vegito, and so I'm just going to actually move him over here as an option if, right, oops, if you don't have like Super Saiyan 4 Vegito or Gohan, you don't have that team. So you're going to have to slot them in somewhere here. But this is more of a full extreme team, as you can see here. But, you know, of course you can add Limit Breaker Vegito on this team here. But maybe you don't have some of these other units that you want to run a better Grade 8 rotation on. But of course, remember, crossover works as well. So crossover or Grade 8 Power, you're going to be just fine. But again, with this Broly here, you're going to have to run these on the main rotations. That's why I have them where they have them. So yes, you can run them on here, but this is more of an extreme class team. So I'll just go ahead and remove them for the time being. But yeah, I think these are some of the teams that you're generally going to be running. Can you put in some other units? Sure, but generally speaking, these are the top 3, in my opinion, that you can run on endgame. But you might have something different. So again, yes, I know if you have Rose, you can run like Murzumasu, LR Murzumasu, and stuff like that. But I'm not even thinking about outside of crossover for the team builds. So keep that in mind as well. So yes, I know you can run a Murzumasu, etc., etc. So, but anyway, with that, just enough of me rambling along here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here. If you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section below. We'll catch you next time. Later.